Hello, another amazing episode ahead of us with Laura Furtado today. Laura is a serial entrepreneur and the founder and owner of Diva Girl, Sexy and Wealthy in Heels, Divas Abroad, and Success Babe. Laura is a successful international dancer, instructor, choreographer, presenter, and mentor, is the founder and owner of Diva Girl. She has successfully created a membership, licensing, and franchise business model with her Diva Girl community. Laura has been titled Canada's Top Young Entrepreneur of 2010, Canada's Top 25 Young Entrepreneurs of 2009, nominee for the Arts Entrepreneur of the Year, nominee for the Emerging Performing Artist of the Year, and Best Personal Brand. She has launched her volunteerism nonprofit Trip Experience Divas Abroad to educate and empower women internationally. Wow, that's quite a big resume, Laura. Thank you for being here and welcome.
Thank you for having me. Super excited to be here.
Wow, you've achieved so much and you're so young. And look at this. I mean, amazing. What led you to start your businesses?
So after university, I got a job in the marketing industry. So I did what everybody is taught when in school, is that you work hard in school and then you get a job at the agency world. So I did that for approximately 4 years. And though I loved my team and I loved the business that I was working at, I felt that I could offer so much more. And I wanted to do something that I felt extremely passionate about and that enabled me to help people, specifically women. And so that is why I decided to start my own business. And then ventured into dance because that was something that I was extremely passionate about. And I started my first business and first division, which was Diva Girl Fitness, in which we offered dance and fitness classes for women in a variety of cities out in Ontario. So that's how I started, because I definitely wanted to give more meaning to my purpose of work, as well as more meaning and fulfillment in my day-to-day life.
Wow, that's fantastic. So can you tell me a little bit about the Divas Abroad? What is it about?
Yeah, so Divas Abroad is my nonprofit initiative that I do through my businesses, which is Diva Girl and Sexy and Wealthy in Heels. And it's something that I've always wanted to do, but I didn't have the time nor the funds to actually implement it. So Divas Abroad is a volunteer trip experience that educates and empowers women internationally. I did partner with one girl in my community. Her name is Jill Valentine from Dare to Be a Dandelion. And we partnered on creating this initiative to allow women in our community to volunteer abroad. One of the reasons why I did this was because we do a lot of great initiatives that educates and empowers women locally, like in Toronto as well as in Vancouver, but we felt that we needed to do more. We're very fortunate here in North America, and I think you don't realize how fortunate you are until you go out abroad and see other people's women's situations out there. So I wanted an opportunity for women to appreciate what they have by volunteering abroad, and for us to actually expand our skills and our resources to help women that actually really need it. So we started Divas Abroad last year. We went to Belize in South America, and this year we are heading to Nepal in Southeast Asia, and we work with local organizations there to educate women to help them start their own businesses or give them the tools that are necessary to make them have a successful life and business.
Wow, that's a great mission. Thank you for doing that. The world needs you, women need you. So that's amazing. And so can you just give us a little bit of insight into what are you teaching women or entrepreneurs? What is your message?
For Divas Abroad specifically, or?
And also for any of your businesses. I've heard one of your presentations, which was absolutely awesome. And can you just share maybe those basic things that every woman as an entrepreneur should know to market herself or to achieve success in her business?
Okay, great. So our mantra with all the businesses that we do is I educate and empower women. So empower women to love their business and their life, to be comfortable and confident in the person that they are and the journey that they are going towards. So with Diva Girl, we're a lifestyle community that is all about education and connection of ambitious females. And with Sexy and Wealthy Heels, we educate, empower, and inspire women to be smart, sexy, and successful. So when we say sexy, we mean about building confidence. We're not talking about the physical appearance of women. We're talking about building confidence in yourself, because we feel, or I feel, that being confident is what attracts success to your life as well as your business. So the confidence building in females is a message that we extremely preach. In regards to Divas Abroad and what we teach to the women out there, we usually work with a local organization to ask them what they want to learn. Most of the time, the things that, or the topics that they want to learn is around the themes of self-love, building confidence, and finding ways to invest or make more money in their businesses. So those are the three main themes that usually come out in Divas Abroad. Obviously, it varies based on the country, because every country and culture is so unique, because there is those cultural differences as well. But we find that women internationally do want to feel empowered and independent. A lot of the times they come from backgrounds or cultures that doesn't allow them to be independent or enable them to do the things that they want to do. So we enable them to give them the tools and resources that allow them to feel comfortable and independent within their own cultural boundaries as well. So those are the main themes and concepts that we preach within all of our three businesses.
Are there any main principles of success?
In regards to success for female entrepreneurs, I think there's three main things. Number one is you need confidence, meaning confidence that you're able to accomplish what you set out your goals to be, as well as being very confident in the product and service that you offer. So if you don't believe in yourself, no one's going to believe in you, and no one's going to buy from you. So confidence is number one. Number two is having a plan. And a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs have great ideas, but they don't have a executional plan that's going to enable them to accomplish their goals. So planning is not necessarily a fun, sexy task in business, but it's one of the things that I found was extremely crucial in the success of our businesses and the programs that we launch. So having a really clear and concise, manageable plan, and make sure that you're being accountable for that. And the third thing that is necessary for success is an understanding on your financials. A lot of women lack financial understanding, or don't even want to talk about numbers, but understanding your financials or your opportunities for growth and revenue is extremely important in business, because if you don't understand financials and how your business is going to make money, then it just becomes a really expensive hobby. So in regards to success tips, I think confidence, planning, and financial management or understanding are the three main importance in business nowadays.
Okay, well, that's very good. And yes, it's true. A lot of women struggle when it comes to understanding money and how it works. I definitely was one of those women in the past. So I know that that's really, really highly important, especially when you own your business.
Absolutely.
Money is extremely important. And Laura, what does success look like to you?
Success to me is very simple. It's living the life that you want to in your most authentic self without financial restraints. I don't think success is all about money, but I think a big component is being not stressed out about money matters, because when you're not stressed out about those things, you can actually do what you want to do. Like you can volunteer, you can give back, you can contribute. So, and it's obviously being happy, but I think when you are doing what you want, when you want in your most authentic self, I think that you are able to be happy. And the number one thing that women struggle with in business is financial, unfortunately. So if you're able to do that without financial restraints, you have so much more back to give. You can give your time, you can give money to other people, or you can create more programs that are going to affect people in a positive manner.
Yeah, you know what? You actually touched a very important subject that I think a lot of people struggle with, because lots of people have very negative perception of what money is. And they think, well, as long as I have just enough, I'm okay. But they don't understand that building abundance in your life allows you to take care of others.
Absolutely.
And share what you have, because while you struggle financially, you really cannot focus on anybody else or helping anyone, because all the energy goes into surviving yourself. When you have, now you can give.
Absolutely.
And I think that's something you mentioned before as well, right? The reason why you started with going abroad and teaching women in these countries is because today you can, where in the past you couldn't. Yeah. So
Great.
Thanks for sharing, because this is a very, very important information for all listeners out there. If you are struggling financially, or if you are thinking that you don't need a lot of money or so, if you want to go out and do well for somebody else, you definitely want to make sure that you do well for yourself first, so then you can help.
Absolutely. And it is about taking care of yourself first, understanding what the money you need to feel comfortable or live the life that you want to. So again, it's back to planning. Like, why do you want money? And, having money for important things like, education, or for elements of volunteerism, versus having a big house or a fancy car or fancy shoes. It's really important for you to understand why you need money for, what number or how much you need, because then you can actually work towards making more money to give back to people. Yeah. And I think that's a big component in life. And once you understand what that is, it's that much more easier to achieve.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Mm-hmm. And what are those tips for women entrepreneurs that are starting out? What would be your advice to them?
My advice would be definitely find a mentor. Definitely find a mentor or consultant, someone who has been there, done that. You could learn so much from people that have been in business, and you can save not only time, but also money, as well as stress, to actually learn from someone that can take you on the right journey. So if you're struggling with something, definitely get a mentor, someone that you admire, someone that's doing something that is similar to you, because it will be that much more beneficial for you in the end. Education, in my opinion, is key. So when you're starting out your business, you need the education. You need to take courses. You need to learn from people. You need to attend events. So definitely education. A mentor. And the third one would probably be, back to my tips on success, would be have a solid plan, and have a plan for the next 12 months of what you want to accomplish, as well as a short-term plan, anywhere from 2 to 5 years, so you can understand what journey you're going to be on, but also realizing that it changes along the way. Like the only constant in business is change. So you got to be comfortable with change and be flexible with it. But you also have to have a plan of what you want to accomplish in the next 12 months.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Laura. The only constant is change.
Yes.
Everything changes. And yet one of the biggest fears people have is fear of change.
Change, absolutely.
But that's what we go through in every area of our life. You mentioned to have a solid plan. Is there any strategy that people can use to brainstorm or to get to this solid plan? How do they do that?
So in regards to planning, I actually, so my strategy is I plan in advance. I actually do all of my planning for the next year, usually by September of the previous year. So for example, my plan for 2017 is already set. And there's 3 categories of plans of goals that I actually outline. I outline business goals, personal goals, as well as financial goals. The reason why I mentioned personal, because your personal goals will affect your business goals and vice versa. If you want to franchise or expand or do all these amazing things, that takes time. And if you're spending time on your business, you're taking away time from something else, which is going to be your personal life. So you really need to outline where your energy is going to be focused. A lot of people have massive goals that they want to accomplish, not realizing that it takes time and money to do that. So that also needs to be reflected in your personal goals. So I usually set out my business goals, my personal, my financial. My financial is obviously directly related to my business. Obviously, if you want to achieve certain milestones in your business programs or your services, that will be reflective of your financials as well as part of your growth. I also outline educational goals, such as what are new tasks I want to learn, who are new people that I want to connect with. So I'm a little bit more mindful in the upcoming month of what to accomplish. Once I understand what my goals are, I actually give them a time frame. So I plot them in my calendar of the dates of when I want to accomplish them by. I even get down to the point of outlining how much money I want to make per week in my business in which month. So for example, if I wanted to take off November, like I am, to do my Divas Abroad, I realize that I won't be working so much. So realizing that my income goals will be smaller in certain months versus others. So being very strategic of your time frame within the next 12 months will be extremely important, because when you write things down on paper and they're SMART, meaning specific, manageable, attainable, realistic, and timely, it will be that much easier to achieve them.
Wow, that's a great strategy. Really, really well outlined. Do you see a lot of people struggling with not having a solid plan like this?
Yeah, I work a lot with my clients who are female entrepreneurs. They have full ambitions and full desires to create the plan. A lot of them actually create a plan, and it's a great plan. But where most people fail is accountability, actually doing the things that they said they were going to do. So one of my strategies, if I say I'm going to do X in the month of January and I don't accomplish it, I actually take that task and reallocate it to a different month. Or I reassess the goal. Was it that important to me to begin with? So accountability is the hardest part. That is why you need weekly touch points to see if you're on track, as well as I also review my goals on a monthly basis. Hence why having a mentor or a consultant working with you, that person holds you accountable on your goal of, on your journey of goal setting.
Absolutely. Yeah. Accountability is huge. And
Right.
I don't think a lot of people are able to be accountable to themselves.
Right.
It's very easy to fall back. What's the biggest struggle that you see that entrepreneurs are going through?
I think the biggest struggle that most people have is usually a growth struggle. So starting off a business is very exciting. Everything is very exciting and new in the beginning. One of the biggest challenge is passing your year 3. Your year 3 is when things have died down. They're not as exciting or new or different. So how do you, 1, keep momentum? How do you keep 2, things fresh and exciting? And number 3, how do you grow to the next level? So growth is an element that people fail most on. And growth is directly related to the financial component. So once you get comfortable making X amount in your business, how do you get to the next level of growth, of incremental growth for your financials?
Would you think that this is the reason then why 80% of the businesses fail in the first 2 years?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because past, usually in your 3rd year, that's when you need to inject additional revenue to grow. Right. And that's the one thing. So once you want to get to the next level, you have to reinvest funds. And a lot of entrepreneurs, they're fearful for implementing that money once again, because they already went through it at the startup phase, right? And the thought of going back into debt in your business could be very dreary. And so yeah, that is absolutely one of the reasons why most businesses fail within the 3rd year, or by the 3rd year.
This makes a lot of sense to me, because it's very interesting. When I started my business, in the 3rd year was the 3rd year of being full-time. I'm not counting part-time that I did before, but the 3rd year of full-time was when the big push actually started. The bigger growth, more projects, more things, more investing. I invested more money into that than I did in the previous 2 years.
Right.
So this makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how would they overcome this challenge of growth? What's the best thing to do? What do they need to know?
Well, it goes back to my 3 tips of being successful. Being confident, planning, as well as financial understanding. As you grow, if you're able to understand how you can put money aside to reinvest back into your business, that's also a good plan. 20% of your revenue of what you earn should actually be reinvested back into your business, as well as 10 or 15% should be allocated towards funding your education. So whether that is you taking a course or personal development or working with a consultant, because you are the one that's going to fuel or grow your business. Nobody else is going to do that. Yeah. So you need to constantly reinvest in yourself as well as your business activities. So just as long as you're planning out that you're putting away a little bit each month to grow, then that is a strategy that you can use to avoid that pitfall usually around year 3. And obviously having the confidence of continuing to grow and also having a plan, right? So you can also plan out in your year that if you know that, your business goes in cycles, it's very cyclical, what can you do on low periods to help compensate for that revenue? And that is why the whole idea of coming up with additional streams of revenue in business is extremely important. Most successful entrepreneurs or most people that become millionaires don't become millionaires by doing one thing alone. Most millionaires have 7 streams of revenue. So if you follow that statistic and you understand that, there's a lot of different ways to make money, and it's not just business. Being an entrepreneur could mean that you have an Airbnb project on the side. It could be being a landlord. It can be being an investor. It can be being a trader. So there's lots of different qualities that entrepreneurship can lead to help you be creative of making more money. Because doing one thing is not going to necessarily make you the 6 figures or the 7 figures. It's being creative on what you do.
Absolutely. I so agree. I work with entrepreneurs as well, not in the same way as you do. I work more on personal development with them. And I know you do as well. If you're building confidence with women that you work with, that's personal development. How much do you see in your line of work, personal development is important for these women that you work with?
Personal development is very important. And when I say personal development, I'm just not referring to like reflection and goal setting, which is all important. It's being a little bit more tactful in regards to talking about execution, planning, having a strategy. So self-reflection or personal development, yes, but it goes a lot further versus reading a book about how to build confidence or, going to a seminar or an event that makes you feel good. Yes, that's personal development, but those are just internal qualities or feelings that you have. You need to take those feelings and actually implement them. And the implementation or execution is the hardest thing. So when I talk about personal development, absolutely. But that's why you necessarily sometimes need a consultant or a mentor to work with for the accountability component. Because if you don't understand how to create a plan or to create a strategy, then you need help to do that, because personal development goes a lot further than just reading books and listening to podcasts.
Absolutely. It's a lot deeper. Yeah. And I know that me personally, I had business and personal coach at the same time when I started. If I didn't have both of them on board, I wouldn't get to where I am today, because both components are so important. So thank you for the work that you do, for your volunteer work as well as your professional work, because I think we really need that. And women need to be empowered and really step into who they are. Where can our listeners find more about you and your work?
Yeah, so my personal website is laurafurtado.ca. And there I have information about my background and some of the programs and speaking engagements that I am involved in. Diva Girl Inc. is our information about our Diva Girl community. And the next one is Sexy and Wealthy in heels.com, which talks about the different events and seminars that we host in a variety of area, including Vancouver. So Sexy and Wealthy in Heels is starting up again in Vancouver, which I'm hosting a lot of the events. And we also do have initiatives in up to about 15 other Canadian and US cities.
Wow, that's awesome. That definitely worth checking out, all the links that you've listed. And really, thank you for being here with us today, Laura, and sharing your wisdom. I know it's going to be very beneficial for many entrepreneurs out there. I've learned a lot today from you, as I always do when I listen to you. And thank you so much. Keep being great as you are. And I'm sure we're going to hear a lot about you in the future as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.